Myself, Crispin, project intern at ICT Academy of Kerala. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time now, as well as those who are new to the ICT family. We are excited to bring you this session, Trends and Opportunities in Full Stack Development. This is a session on the never-ending opportunities that lies within the full stack development. Without any further delays, let me introduce our speaker, Mrs. Meera Menon, Technical Architect at Vimuthu Private Limited. Mrs. Meera Menon is a pioneer in full stack development, having more than a decade of experience in the industry. Mrs. Meera has trained more than 25 startups within the time span of 2 years. And also, she has trained more than 10,000 graduates. Next, we have Mr. Rijin N. Das, Head Knowledge Officer, ICT Academy of Kerala. Mr. Riji has 11 years of experience in the academics and had successfully completed 7 years at the ICT Academy of Kerala. Along with Mr. Rijin, we have Mr. Srikumar KV, Head of Retail Operations at ICT Academy of Kerala. Mr. Srikumar has 2 decades of experience in the academics and ITS industry. On behalf of KKEM and ICT Academy, I welcome all the panelists and audience to this webinar. Now I request Mrs. Meera Menon to start the session. Over to you, Meera.
Thank you for the welcome. Before actually hand it over to Meera, I would like to set a context of this webinar. I will take a couple of minutes, then we will pass it to Meera.
Yeah,
Meera,
sure,
are you joined? Are you comfortable now?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think I'm audible, right? I'm clearly audible, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this is our second webinar series as part of this trends and opportunities in the IT industry. So the first webinar we had it on last week. So the plan is we are actually bringing different technology webinars to the graduates or students community to understand actually how the industry demand is there for the particular technology. So that will help you to take a decision on your career growth. So that is our fundamental idea to bringing such a webinar series for the graduates and students community. So this webinar is jointly organized by ICT Academy of Kerala, Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission. So most of you may know about Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission because the invitation is sent it to the candidates who already registered with the Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission. So as part of the Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission, we are doing this webinar, and following that, actually we are giving a clear view about the industrial trends, a clear view about the technologies, a clear view about the present trends on the Kerala and IT industry. So that is the basic structure of this webinar series. So I'll hand it over to Meera. So after actually completing the Meera, I will discuss more about the initiative of the Kerala government. Yeah. Thank you all. Welcome, Meera. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Hi, everyone. Here I'm about to discuss about what is full stack and how that is actually that means what is the current demand in the market and what and all are the opportunities that we figure out full stack, what and all will be the opportunities that we are discussing here. I'm sharing my screen. I think my screen is visible now. Can anyone respond? Is it visible?
Yes, perfectly. Your screen is visible.
Yeah. Okay. So today we are just discussing about the trends and opportunities in the full stack development. Before getting to know about what is the trends and opportunities, we should know a bit more about, right? What is full stack development? Okay. So let's see that first of all, what is full stack development? Okay. So we have learned that for developing an application, there are different kinds of applications are available, right? Web application, mobile application, and desktop application, different kinds of applications are available. So full stack development is actually a technology or a concept which is related to the web application development. So earlier earlier what happened is there were two separate branches we have, even though it is a single it's a part of a single web application. We divided it as what front end, even now also front end and back end development. Full stack is actually simply nothing. It's actually amalgamating the front end development and the back end development together, and the technologies which we used to develop the whole front end and back end web applications together, we put it in a stack, we put it in a pouch, and we call it as full stack. Different technologies are available for developing web applications. No, we have to design in a case of web application, we have to design our web application. We want to write some logics for that. We want to add some security on that. We have to store our data. For performing all these things, we are using different technologies. So full stack development is what the union of front end and back end development, and the experts who are expertised in both front end and back end development technologies are called full stack developers. Different full stacks are available. It is not only specific to Java. It's not only for Python. Different full stacks are available. Okay, so that is actually full stack development. That means the technology, the tools that is used for developing an entire web application. That means we are starting from the scratch and building the whole web application. That together is called as what? Full stack development. Okay, so this is actually what and all that comes under the full stack development. You can see some front end development technologies you can see here. So the front end means what client sees or what the customer sees, right? For example, if you're using an Amazon, a website Amazon, there you can see what the client, as like us, what we are seeing there. That look and feel is actually the front end development. Okay, so different technologies are used in front end development. The basic thing is HTML, and for styling that we are using style sheets, and some frameworks are developed on the top of that to ease the development of front end, that such as called Angular, React, Vue. Lots of frameworks are available on the top of front end development. And backend development means not only the look is that, no, the user interface can't do anything alone, right? So for performing some actions, there should be some logic behind that, right? So that we can develop by using any of the programming languages. There are different web development programming languages. Web technologies are available, such as ASP.NET, Java, Node.js, and Python, Ruby. All are playing in the backend development. Okay. And next is we have to think about the persistence of data, right? Because all those informations we have to keep somewhere. Different types of database management systems are available. It can be relational, like we can store the data in the tables or in a format of files. Some non-structured data formats are also available. So that actually comes under the databases section. So, and some more things are there. This is actually, no, if we are saying full stack, this also should come. Okay, we should know, right, how to keep it in a common repository, and how to make it published, and how to that means how, from where we are getting these things. No, we have to build it, we have to host it. All those things actually comes under the DevOps section. And there are different architectures also available. All these together called as the full stack tools. Okay, that is as a collection of multiple components in a software application that work together to ensure it's smooth running. Each of these components comes together to facilitate the user interaction, to run calculations, and for powering what backend functions. And each of these full stack tools, that means we are not going to use all together, but we have to pick one from the front end. We have to choose one technology from the front end, another from the back end, another from the database, and these other things. For the developers, actually, almost all companies has to bother about only these three areas. Okay, these rest all, there will be a dedicated DevOps team will be there for hosting things and managing the spaces and all they will be. So here, our major area of concern is this section only. Okay. So we have to choose, and how to choose, that is actually matters, because lots of technologies are available here, right? So each of these having more than these languages, different frameworks are also available. Okay. So full stack is actually, that is collection of, as I said, the collection of multiple components in the software application that works together to ensure it's smooth running. So let's see what and all are the renowned full stacks available. One is mean stack, another one is MERN, Django, Rails, Lamstack, and different, many more, not only this. Okay, so here you can see the mean stack means the database part is used here. It is MongoDB. And this is actually, Express is one of the framework which have used on the top for making, for developing backend. So that is actually a framework, and the technology, the backend development technology that we runtime that we are used in the backend is Node.js, and this is for the front end. If the combination is this is actually M for Mongo, E for Express, F for Angular, and N for Node. Okay, so these together came, we call it as what? Mean stack. With this Angular, it again comprises the HTML, the CSS, all your basic client-side scripting, everything. This is actually a framework which comprises everything which is needed for developing a front end. And you can see another commonly used stack is MERN stack. There you can see Mongo, Express, React instead of Angular. The front end, the web framework which is used to develop front end is React.js, and the back end is for Node.js. And one more thing is the Maven stack, that is MEVN, that is what Vue instead of React.js. The web application with front end technology they're used is Vue.js. Okay, and it's possible. We can, as I said, we can cherry pick any combination that we need. Okay, Django is actually the Python is, if you are using Python as the backend and if you are cherry picking something else, MySQL or any other front end, you can choose anything, right? Based upon the stacks will be different. If we are using Java, that will become a Java stack. Okay, so and you can cherry pick the Angular and the backend as a Java and database as Oracle. That's your choice. For full stack, what's required is we have for developing all the three layers we required. The mainly three layers we have, right? Front end layer, web application layer, the logic layer, and the data layer, right? For developing all these things, we have to cherry pick something. Based upon that, we can. So let's see. We will be discussing, in upcoming sections, upcoming slides, we will be discussing which one is trending right now, because there are different stacks are available, and the choosing stacks is a clever choice. How we will choose the stacks that will be coming. Okay, and so why? Because lots of technologies are available there. Then why we should choose? Why we should become a full stack developer? That's a question, right? Okay. So why? Because simple, because one is it's high demand in the market. High demand means the demand for the full stack developers is high. Okay, and right now the need of full stack developers in the industry rose about 20%. Okay, as per the industry demand of 2018's review, it is actually about, it rose 20% near. Okay, and why? Because the full stack developers is able to work with all the three layers of the process: presentation, logic, and database. Apart from that, the companies look for multi-talented professionals who can keep up with the market and perform more than one role. And you can trust the full stack developer with many kinds of project, right? Which you might not be able to do with any other specialists, because none of the companies, most of the companies right now looking for the developers who can play more than one role at a time. Okay, and why? Because they are looking for the developers who are familiar with all facets of the development. So what is the benefit? They can handle more projects, right? Handle projects with more effectiveness. That is so it has a high demands for the full stack developer in the market. And second is obviously the great pay compared to other specialists. So normally, even for the right, but compared to other specialists, the full stack developers pays bit high. As the same reason, because they were able to handle, they can handle more than one roles at a time. So they can replace at least 2 or 3 average developers. Okay. So, and why? Because they, so by replacing 2 or 3 developers, obviously the company is reducing its operating costs, right? And which saves lots of money for the company, and due to their ability to work with different frameworks and technologies, so they are getting great pay in the industry. Another thing is creative flexibility. No, why? Because it's creative flex. What it's meant by creative flexibility is the full stack developers compared to other normal backend developer or a front-end developer. The full stack developer is more can work with more flexibility, because if needed, we can place them in the front end section, right? Client side applications, if needed, we can place them in the database at the same time. And more than that, a full stack developer will get the control over the product that you are developing. Why? Because they knows what will happen if I implement this change in front end, because they know the front end and the back end, right? So their vision will be more compared to other developers. So that's, it has a flexibility. If a guy is okay, if someone is not there in the front end, we can easily switch. So that will result into the productivity. As a full stack developer knows multiple technologies, whether it is about adding images to the web page or creating a database, you'll be familiar with all of them. This gives you an edge over the other developers because you can make technical decisions faster and as we see the big picture. Okay, and we will be, so that overall will improve the productivity of the application development. And also it actually opens multifaceted scope for the growth. Okay, as I said, the companies are no longer in pursuit of specialists for software development. So here it is actually, they are looking for the persons, people with multifaceted, and they're having a cultivated mindsets, constantly upskill themselves. And more than that, what is no, if you are learning full stack, and lots of researches happening, and if you know full stack, there are lots of other career paths are also available. It's possible, no, you can, it's very easy to get into the role of an architect. Why? Because you know the overall application process, overall application development. So you will get a big picture compared to others. So our growth path also will be easy if you are in the full stack. Okay. And I hope you get a basic idea about what does the why we why in need of, or why we should become a full stack developer. And now let's see some other common trends which is happening in the current market related to the full stack web development. So a concept called low code development is actually now the full stack development, the trends, it is stabilized right now. That means stabilized in sense, lots of frameworks came on the top of front end, back end. Okay, so now it is stable. It is after that it is emerging. What can do next? What can implement next in this to the full stack development? In that context, no, these are discussing. I'm not sure how much you will be able to get into these things. No, you might have heard about low code development. That means if you are developing an application and by time we have to change its requirements, we have to change specifications and all, right, depends upon the business requirement. So now the industry is looking, how can we develop a low code development. That means if a change demands, how can we make it done without making changes in the source code? So instead of making changes in the code, now the research is happening. How can we make an application configurable? That is actually low code development. That means over the time, we can handle without with less modifications in the code. That is actually low code development. That is one of the trends in the full stack development. And rise of artificial intelligence. That is another important thing. You can see if you search something in Amazon, suppose you search for some bags at Amazon. Next time when you are searching or when you're browsing through your Facebook, you will get an advertisement of different kinds of shopping, so different kinds of bags, right? So that is actually, it's integrated a kind of artificial intelligence and all, right? So how can we integrate those kind of artificial intelligence? What is the benefit of artificial intelligence? Definitely, we are actually, this means to encode human behavior, right, in a machine, and that end result is what the machine is faster, efficient, and more intelligent than a human. So how can integrate these things? So these actually, these trends are opening as a new career also. If you want to switch to AI, it's actually cuts a path to that, because the next research is actually taking place on that. How can we integrate artificial intelligence into the web applications? Okay, and in more effective and easier way. Okay, and next is in the changes in the language trends. That is very important thing. So as I said, different stacks are available. So there's a Python stack, Java stack, .NET stack, different kinds of stacks are there, right? So, but there is a change happened in the languages trends right now. Why? Because the changes in trends means right now in the market, JavaScript is the most preferred language for writing full stack. I will tell you why it is. And lots of full-fledged frameworks are available, and lots of researches are happening on to improving the performance, improve the frameworks and all. So why? Because as I said, anyhow, JavaScript is required. If you are developing a web application, front end, you have to learn JavaScript. That is a mandatory thing. So that part is over, right? Our front end, you have to learn JavaScript. And next part is what without backend, there will be no web application, right? So we have to cherry pick either languages like Java, .NET, Python, or something like that. We have to pick, right? So in this situation, we have to learn two languages, JavaScript plus one of the backend programming languages. But with Node.js, it's possible. The same JavaScript is the programming language used for developing server-side applications also. So right now, so what is the benefit? We don't want to spend, and it is powerful also. That with Node.js, it's possible. It's all kind of this. If you want to integrate AI, that is possible. And it gives you a good performance. Everything is, this Node.js is capable to compete with any other server-side technologies right now present in the market. So right now the trend is behind JavaScript, because what is the benefit? The developer need to learn only one programming language. He or she don't want to spend more time for learning other programming language, and interoperability will be high, because anyhow we have to use JavaScript in front end. The JavaScript to JavaScript communication is more compatible compared to communication between JavaScript and other programming languages. So that is a current trend in the market. Okay, so different stacks are also available on the top of this JavaScript. Next is another trend is on behind the rise of IoT, that is Internet of things, you know that the different devices has sensors, we can control that over our web and all those things. So we can extend the full stack into this Internet of Things as well as. And you might have heard about another thing called blockchain. Blockchains, no, for implementing the secure, for managing the secure transactions. Okay, so that means the blockchain is mainly used to manage secure transactions. So they keep track of any changes happening to the transactions, and you can always trace the transaction. Now the market is also investing into that also, how we can integrate this full stack and how we can extend this into the, or how we can implement blockchain into, incorporate blockchain into the full stack. So these are the common trends and need. Okay. Next, I would like to discuss what and all are the career opportunities we will get by learning this full stack. Okay. So one of the role in the industry is full stack developer. No? Because as I said, industries are hiring. If you are, there is an opening for full stack developer, the full stack, because they are looking for the person who knows all the A to Z of the web application development, can fit into that role, right? If a company is hiring only a backend developer, there also this full stack developer, full stack person can apply, right? Because okay, if they need only backend, no, it's okay because we know the backend. If an opening for front end, that is also okay. Why? Because we have learned HTML, CSS, and all the JavaScripts and all the things which we require to develop a front end application. So that is actually front-end developer, and the web developer is also fine, and web designer, right? Because we are learning the CSS and some styles and all, right? So these, almost all roles, because these are the fresher roles, right? So can fit into those who know full stack. How does it make sense? And more than that, this is actually, by using another benefit of full stack application is, if you might have heard about progressive web application. So in that part also, progressive web application means, in progressive is a new trend in the field of web application. Okay, it merges both the traditional web application and the mobile application. And if any openings, openings there in the progressive web application development also, the full stack developer can fix. Hope you all get an overview about what is full stack, what is its role, what is its demand in the current industry, and what is its or what is the next trend, so the upcoming trends in the industry for full stack and all. Any doubts or any questions you have?
So if you have any queries regarding the course, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Shiny says it's clear. Mira, you can also check into the chat. So,
Yeah, sure.
Questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Mira, if you completed, shall we keep it at the end of the session, the Q&A? Then it may be helpful for the students to ask all the questions related to this initiative and trends and other things.
Can you come again?
Shall we keep the Q&A at the end of the session?
Yeah, sure, we can get.
Okay.
Hey, Srikumar, Riji here.
Yeah, Riji.
So okay. Can we move to your part? Like I
Yes,
think
yes,
Mira is
yes.
done with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
presentation.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mira, for the details. Yeah, Riji, you need to.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Mira, for the detailed presentation, which covers the trends and opportunities more into the technology part. So, as I mentioned initially, this is the initiative of Kerala Knowledge Economy Mission and ICT Academy of Kerala. So, it is time to know actually what is the KKM project, the Kerala Knowledge Economy project. So, it may be Mr. Actually, instead of me, actually, Dr. K.M. Abraham, sir, he's actually Executive Vice Chairman, KDISC, and also a Chief Principal Secretary to the Honorable Chief Minister, who actually talked about this initiative. So that may be a detailed briefing for all the participants. So I'm requesting Nidish to run that video of Dr. K.M. Abraham, sir. Nidish?
നോളജ് എക്കോണമി മിഷൻ, അതായത് KDISC-നെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ബൃഹത്തായ ഒരു പദ്ധതി. ആ ഒരു പദ്ധതിയുടെ ഉദ്ദേശ ലക്ഷ്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ യുവതലമുറ അവരെ ലക്ഷ്യം വെച്ചിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ കേരളം എന്നും ഒരു നെറ്റ് എക്സ്പോർട്ടർ ഓഫ് ഹ്യൂമൻ റിസോഴ്സാണ്. നമ്മൾ പുറത്തോട്ട് അയക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തികളുടെ എണ്ണം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തൊഴിൽ തേടിപ്പോകുന്നവരുടെ എണ്ണം നമ്മൾക്കകത്ത് നമ്പറിനെക്കാട്ടിലും കൂടുതലാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു കാര്യം നിലനിർത്തണം എന്നുള്ളത് വളരെ പ്രധാനമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യമാണ്. വി ഹാവ് ടു കണ്ടിന്യൂ ടു ബി ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ ഹ്യൂമൻ റിസോഴ്സസ്. അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ലക്ഷ്യം. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഹ്യൂമൻ റിസോഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് സർക്കാരിൽ ഒരാണ്ടിൽ 20,000 മുതൽ 30,000 പുതിയ ജോലികൾ വരും. സർക്കാർ ഈ പബ്ലിക് സെക്ടർ കമ്പനിയും കൂടെ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരു 2,000-3,000 വരും. അതിനകത്ത് ഇത് വരുന്നത് പുതിയതല്ലെന്ന് ഓർക്കണം, ഈ റിട്ടയർമെൻറ്റ് വേക്കൻസികൾ നിറയ്ക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ബാക്കിയുള്ള ജോലികൾ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളൊരു കോൺഫിഡൻസ് നമ്മുടെ യുവതലമുറയ്ക്ക് കൊടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയൊരു ലക്ഷ്യം. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൻ്റെ വ്യത്യാസം കൃത്യമായിട്ട് ഞാൻ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, അതൊരു എംപ്ലോയ്മെൻറ്റ് എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് അല്ല, അതൊരു സ്കില്ലിംഗ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം അല്ല, അതൊരു മിയർ ഗവൺമെൻറ് പ്രോഗ്രാമിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് ഒരു അവസരം കൊടുക്കുന്നത് മാത്രമല്ല. ഇതൊരു വളരെ കോംപ്ലക്സ് എക്കോസിസ്റ്റം നമ്മൾ ഇതിൽ കൂടുതൽ വാർത്തെടുക്കുകയാണ്. ഒരു സൈഡിൽ ഒരു എംപ്ലോയ്മെൻറ്റ് മാർക്കറ്റ് പ്ലേസ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അവിടെ നമ്മൾ എംപ്ലോയേഴ്സിനെയും നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികളെയും നമ്മുടെ എംപ്ലോയീസിനെയും കൂടെ ഒരുമിച്ച് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് മാച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുന്ന ഒരു വലിയ സംരംഭം. രണ്ടാമത്തതിൽ ഈ ഗ്യാപ്പ് എന്തുവാണ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. വേറെ ആരും അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാറില്ല. ഈ ഗ്യാപ്പ് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചിട്ട് ഈ ഗ്യാപ്പ് നികത്തുവാനായിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് അവസരം കൊടുക്കുന്നു. ഉദാഹരണം, ഒരു ജാവ പ്രോഗ്രാമിങ്ങിന് പോയി, പക്ഷേ എംപ്ലോയർ പറയുന്നു ശരിയല്ല, ഞങ്ങൾ ഇയാളുടെ CV പരിശോധിച്ചു, ഇയാളുമായിട്ട് ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ നടത്തി, പക്ഷേ ഈ വ്യക്തിയിൽ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് നോളജ് പോരാ. അപ്പം നമ്മളെന്ത് ചോദിക്കുന്നു, ജാവ പ്രോഗ്രാമിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഒരു കോഴ്സിൽ നിങ്ങൾ വരാൻ തയ്യാറാണോ എന്ന് നമ്മൾ ചോദിക്കുകയും ആ കോഴ്സിന് പഠിപ്പിക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള അവസരം നമ്മൾ ഒരുക്കി കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഈ മുമ്പോട്ട് ഈ ഒരു ജോബ് മാച്ചിങ് എംപ്ലോയിയെയും കൊണ്ടുവരുമ്പം ഇതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ സ്കിൽ ഡെഫിഷ്യൻസി കാലിബ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് അത് നികത്തി കൊടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ഇനി ഇവർ എംപ്ലോയ്മെൻറ്റിന് പോയി എന്നിരിക്കട്ടെ, നമ്മൾ എംപ്ലോയറിനോട് പറയുന്നത് നിങ്ങൾ റിസ്ക് എടുക്കണ്ട, നിങ്ങൾ ധൈര്യമായിട്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് വരും. നിങ്ങളൊരു കാൻഡിഡേറ്റിൻ്റെ ഡെഫിഷ്യൻസി ജോലി സ്ഥലത്ത് വെച്ച് കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞങ്ങളോട് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി, ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ വ്യക്തിയെ തിരിച്ചെടുത്ത് ഇവർക്ക് സോഷ്യൽ സേഫ്റ്റി നെറ്റിൽ കൂടെ നമ്മളൊരു സപ്പോർട്ട് സിസ്റ്റം കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ സപ്പോർട്ട് സിസ്റ്റം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ 6 മാസം അടുത്ത കോഴ്സ് തീർക്കാൻ 6 മാസം എടുക്കുക, കാലതാമസം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ 6 മാസം ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്യണം. 6 മാസം ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പം ഈ വ്യക്തിക്ക് ചിലവ് കഴിയണമല്ലോ, അതിനൊരു സോഷ്യൽ സേഫ്റ്റി നെറ്റും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഒരു മൾട്ടി ലെയർഡാണ്. ഒരു സൈഡിൽ വളരെ വലിയൊരു മാച്ചിങ് പ്രോഗ്രാം നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു, വേറൊരു സൈഡിൽ ഈക്വലൻ്റായിട്ട് ഒരു സ്കിൽ പ്രൊവിഷൻ പ്രോഗ്രാം നടന്നു. ഓരോന്നിനും അതിൻ്റേതായിട്ടുള്ള വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ടുള്ള ഇതുണ്ട്, ഫീച്ചേഴ്സുണ്ട്. ഉദാഹരണം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ മാച്ചിങ് ലെവൽ തന്നെ എടുക്കുക. വെറുതെ നമ്മൾ എംപ്ലോയേഴ്സ് ഫാക്ടറീസ് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുക, മാച്ച് ചെയ്യുക അല്ല. ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഇൻ്റർനാഷണൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള അഗ്രിഗേറ്റേഴ്സുമായിട്ടും ബന്ധപ്പെടും. മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ? ഒരു തട്ടിൽ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ ലോക്കൽ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെടും. അപ്പം എനിക്ക് വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളോട്, യുവതലമുറയോട് ഒരു പറയാനായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു ആഹ്വാനം എന്ന് വേണേൽ അതിനെ വിശേഷിപ്പിക്കാം. ഈ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൽ വരുന്ന ഇതിൻ്റെ അവസരങ്ങൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. ഈ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലേക്ക് ഈ വിദ്യാർത്ഥിനി സുഹൃത്തുക്കളും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ യുവതലമുറയും കൂടെ വന്ന് തൊഴിൽ അന്വേഷിക്കുന്നവർ അതിനകത്ത് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പം അവർക്ക് ഒരു ക്ഷമയോടുകൂടി ഈ ഒരു സ്കിൽ പ്രോഗ്രാമിൻ്റെ ബെനിഫിറ്റ്സ് അത് സ്വീകരിക്കാനായിട്ട് വരണം. നമ്മുടെ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ വരുന്ന എംപ്ലോയേഴ്സ് അവർക്കറിയാമല്ലോ, അവർ എക്സ്പോസ്ഡ് ആണെന്ന് അറിയാമല്ലോ, അവർ ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഓഫർ ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഈ ഓഫർ അനുസരിച്ച് ഒരു പബ്ലിക് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം, സർക്കാർ ഓടിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പബ്ലിക് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ അവർ ഒന്ന് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്നു. അവർക്ക് ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ജോലി ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറയുന്നു. അവർ ഈ ജോലിയിൽ മിനിമം ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൊടുക്കുമെന്ന് അവർ ആദ്യം തന്നെ പറയുന്നു. ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിന് നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾ പോകുന്നു, അവർക്ക് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അപ്പം ഒരു ശകലം ഒരു പേരൻറ്റിങ്ങും കൂടെ ഈ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫങ്ഷനാണ്.
Thank you, Nitish. So hope most of you very clearly understand what is the KKM project is. Next I would like to share actually what is the ICT Academy's role on the KKM project. It is mentioned that KKM project having two focusing areas. One focusing is a job aggregation. That means actually we need to bring the jobs for the youths of the Kerala. The second is actually skilling. ICT Academy is working with or associated with the KKM on the both the project actually, both on skilling front as well as the job aggregation front. Skilling front, we are actually focusing on only at ITS skill, because actually the job market is wide range. Actually, the above blue collar, all the jobs are actually coming under the KKM projects. So ICT Academy is not having a capability to actually do all the skilling. So we are actually only focusing on ITS. The same way we are focusing on the job aggregation in the IT and ITS segment, a little bit of outside segment also. So for that, actually, the Kerala government formally endorsed ICT Academy as a nodal officers of all the IT parks in Kerala. So you know, actually, we have three major IT parks in Kerala. One is Techno Park, another one is Info Park, and actually the UL Cyber Parks in Calicut. So we are a official nodal officer for all the parks to actually bringing the vacancies to the platform. In this role, actually, we recently found out actually what are the technologies having more demand. Actually, the technology demand is analyzed in the two different scenarios. One scenario is based on the international actually demand. Another one is actually actual demand. Actual demand is how many openings are there in the companies based on the company's actually job posting and other things. So I would like to share a screen couple of having only a couple of slides. It will give the actually trend of the international trend scenario. Okay. I hope actually my screen is visible to all, right?
Yes, Raghuvan.
Okay. So I'm actually taking two references. Both are very recent references, because you can easily go and actually refer actually whether what we are studying is right or not. First thing is actually most of you may actually notice yesterday's Hindu newspaper. There is actually an article came on the Hindu newspaper that is endorsed by the CEO of Technoparks. It's actually saying there is a huge demand in the graduate segment, especially on the trained graduates, because you know actually there is two type of recruitments are happening in the industry. One is a fresher recruitment, another one is experienced recruitment. So it is very familiar to you. I don't want to explain all those things. The fresher recruitment, the categories, maybe they will go to the campuses, then they will do a campus hiring, or actually they will do a hiring people having a specific skills. Whenever there is a campus hiring, the companies are not much bothered about their skills, because actually they're most bothered about their knowledge actually. So that's why they're going to the campus. Once the campus opportunity is missed by the students, then actually they're getting into the IT segment as a fresher. Then the only opportunity for him is actually not only the knowledge, he needs a skill, because companies expecting skill additionally the knowledge, because trained graduates are needed on that category. So that is a very huge demand, because most of the companies, if you take a mid-tier companies or actually a startup, they're not in a position to hire and train the graduate inside the companies for a long period, like 6 months period, and paying them on the training period, it is not practically possible for those mid-tier as well as startup companies. So they are actually preferring to actually take a trained graduate for the specific profile. If you take actually the overall contribution of the IT industry, the mid-tier as well as actually the startups actually having more than 60 to 70% of the job openings are actually coming from those segments. So actually it's having a huge opportunity. So that is the one fact I would like to share. The second fact also, you can easily get the reference from the LinkedIn. Actually, this is the top 10 emerging jobs in IT. That is given by the LinkedIn. So if you see actually it's talking about blockchain development, artificial intelligence, JavaScript developer, robotic process automation, backend development, full stack, cyber security, Python, digital marketing, and front-end engineers. These are you may be familiar because as you are a graduate, you are actually more fond of the technology. These things you may actually aware that okay, I know blockchain having huge demand. I know actually artificial having huge demand. The interesting fact actually I would like to share it now is out of this 10 top IT active jobs demand in the industry as of now, 5 jobs requirements or you can meet actually these 5 job requirements like blockchain, JavaScript, backend, full stack as well as front end jobs with the program which is actually offered by KKM as part of this initiative. That is called a full stack development. It means actually my colleague Riji will actually giving a brief introduction about the program and other things. So the thing is, this specific course actually, if you actually take a cyber security or actually robotic process automation, I'm not saying it's not having a demand, but it is having a demand. But actually, out of this 10 top active openings, this one course actually will make you to fit into the 5 different active job roles. That is a very huge opportunity. That is actually the international trend source. Then what is actually the Kerala trend source actually are the present scenario of actually the job openings available in the market shows is it is there is a huge mismatches happening, especially on the full stack development role in the industry for the last 6 months. We are expecting it may go for the next 1 to 1.5 years. There is a huge demand is there because as we are doing the skilling for last actually 3-4 years. The recent past for 5-6 months, we are getting a very huge demand from the front-end development profile, but we couldn't be able to fulfill. For example, if a company is coming with 100 openings, we can able to fulfill only actually 10 to 20 openings because actually that much skilled people only available for actually take up the jobs. So that's why we are planning to actually create awareness among the students to brief actually what is the demand and opportunities available in the industry. Then the students in a position to take a decision on their own actually. So we are giving just a information and facts to you. You just refer and actually take a decision actually which technology may be helping you a lot to get a better career growth as a job opportunity IT industry. So that is a primary focusing of this webinar series. One more value addition as actually as part of this project actually Abraham sir told, it is actually government is sponsoring this training program also because it is not offering a job assistant, it offering a scholarship also. Sponsorship is coming in the form of scholarship. So the students who would like to take up any skilling program, they need to undergo a scholarship examination. Based on their performance on the scholarship examination, Government of Kerala will sponsor the course fees behalf of the candidate. The scholarship is go to up to 100% actually. So if you are actually extremely good candidate and you are actually scoring very good marks in the entrance examination and you are a female candidate, then actually you are eligible to get a maximum 100% scholarship. That is also a value addition the government of Kerala providing for the deserved students who would like to take up a career through this KKM project. So these are the things I would like to share from my side. As I mentioned, Riji may actually giving a brief idea about what actually the ICT Academy's program specially designed to actually meet the requirements of the industry. That may be a choice of you in a future if you take a decision and to take the full stack development program. That's from my side. Riji, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Srikumar. So I won't be taking much time. So I know that some of the questions are posted in the chat. So we will be answering to your questions. So let me share the screen. So it's a screen visible. All right. Okay. So I may be talking for the next 5 minutes maximum. All of you, first of all, thank you, Meera, for the wonderful explanation. She explained the role of a full stack developer as well as the opportunities available in the full stack spectrum very clearly. So my role is to tell you what should you as a person do when you wanted to do a skilling in this area. I hope that all of you join this course will definitely looking forward to upskill yourself in any of the area. It can be full stack or any other areas that Srikumar also mentioned. So whichever course or technology you wanted to upskill, or whichever program you are enrolling into, the first and foremost thing that all of you should do is you have to do some research regarding the program that you get enrolled. So I may be giving you some input. So what are the things that you have to look from your end while selecting a program? Whichever program that you pick, first of all, that program, the certification program, the skilling program should able to provide you the right knowledge. You can think that all of you attended this webinar, so you feel that this is actually a good area. You can go there, upskill yourself in maybe in a 1 month time or a 2 months time. You can simply enroll to any of the self-learning platforms, whether you can enroll to a course in Coursera. You can enroll to any other courses if it is a paid as well as a free program, and you can even look at YouTube to learn full stack or a mean stack or a merge stack. Now, one thing that you have to be very careful, you can get knowledge from anywhere. That actually is one of the possibilities these days with the digital technology. You can get any knowledge in your fingertips. That equally gives you some kind of a challenge as well, because even the knowledge is everywhere. The right knowledge is something very is difficult to pick. One thing you have to look when you search for the content, you should be very clear that you'll be getting or learning the updated content. If it is a YouTube video, it may be posted 3 years back. So the technology that you are currently, even though the technology remains the same, maybe the kind of version that you're looking at may be outdated. So one thing that you have to be very careful, the knowledge should be an updated one. And secondly, Meera talked about 4 technology. If it is means that it is MongoDB, Express, Angular, and the Node. When it comes to React, the merge stack, it is React. So whichever stack that you look at, there will be different technologies. And when you learn the multiple technologies, so because the full stack developer's role is just like an all-rounder in cricket. So if you are a batsman, you have to practice or concentrate on your batting capability. But if you're a bowler, you will be practicing more on your bowling capability. Your fitness will be, you are checking your fitness for the capability of the bowler. For an all-rounder, he has to perform both the tasks. So he has to spend time and he has to skill himself in multiple roles. So likewise, if you are enrolled as a full stack developer, so you should equip yourself in the back-end technologies as well as the front-end technologies. So the content that you look at, the knowledge you gain should be in a structured way, so that you will be upskilling yourself or you will be skilling yourself in that particular technology in a very productive way. So that once you complete the course, you will be job ready. So any company that which is recruiting you can put you into a project straight away. So right now we all, some of you might be working professionals, you have other commitments. You are taking this learning as an additional opportunity. So in that case, what you do, you may be traveling, you may be sitting somewhere. So the content that you access can be accessed through different devices. You can learn sometimes on the move. Maybe the content will be accessed through a mobile phone. So these are the things that you have to look from a knowledge perspective. So when it comes to the skilling, so knowledge is one part. Maybe you can take it as the baseline of a pyramid. So what is the second layer? The second layer, whatever knowledge you gain, unless you are skillful enough to apply that knowledge, whatever learning that you had is of no use. So in that case, the second thing that you have to be careful is when you learn something, you have to practice along with what you learn. So it is nothing like you learn for 3 months and then you think that I will be doing some practice in the 4th month. And whatever you do, if you learn something in an hour, in the 2nd hour, you will be practicing. So the hands-on thing should be happening in parallel. Otherwise, you can't be skillful to meet the opportunities that await for you. So when you pick a course should have a hands-on component. And if I tell you in numbers about a percentage, it should be 70% practical and then 30%. So that is a minimum thing that you should look at. So the course that you are enrolled in should have minimum 70% of hands-on content. So then it's all about the challenges. So if the course is capable enough to challenge you, the challenges can be in the form of assignments, case studies, project, whatever you do as part of the course. All those things should be challenging you so that you should be learning more and more in the duration of the course. So that when you look at the top pyramid, maybe the top layer of thing, it should be the ability. So the ability to apply your knowledge into what you learn. So think that you learn the concept through that knowledge layer, and you practice it through the skilling layer. And finally, if you get a real-time problem statement, so would you be in a position to take up that particular challenge and solve it? So that happens only when you you practice something while you are doing the course. So the last thing, the most important thing that I would like to say is, if you pick a course and the course should offer you an internship, whether it is a virtual internship or a physical internship, it doesn't matter. So the course should give you an opportunity to practice a real life problem statement. So these are the 3 things that you have to look from my perspective. That is something that all of you should do. It doesn't matter whether you take a course with ICT Academy or because you are spending your time, effort, money into something for some time, maybe for the next 3 months or 6 months. So you all are actually grown up and you do have the capability to understand things. So read, understand, discuss with others, and then finally take a decision. So let me come to that last segment, like what ICT Academy offers with this kind of training, skilling opportunity. So ICT Academy provides courses, full stack development. We do have courses on mean stack, MERN stack, and .NET. Then we do have courses on data science and analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, software testing, cybersecurity, and digital marketing. So these are the other skilling opportunities that ICT Academy provides. And what is unique about ICT Academy skilling is, I told you that it offers all the courses I mentioned comes with a 70% at least hands-on content. The courses are of 6 months duration. And it is offered in a hybrid mode, in the sense that most of this delivery will be happening online, but with the current environment suits for physical training, that we will be identifying some certain places, just like if it is in Kerala, then we will be identifying major cities and conduct some boot camp, so that the learners can come once in a month for a boot camp session, and they have a face-to-face interaction with the learners, trainers as well. Otherwise, the training program is completely virtual. Even though it is virtual, we do have live instructor-led live session happening weekly basis, and then around the clock interaction with the instructors through the collaborative platform. So it can be you are always connected with the instructors. That is something that I can tell you. Then this course, I told you that the duration of the course is 6 months. So in the 6 month duration, the first 4 months is for the content delivery. So all your learning will happen in the first 4 months. Where you get opportunities that you will be challenged by assignments, case study, everything. And finally, you get an opportunity to work with your team, maybe a small team like 3 to 4 members, to do a project. So that is that kind of academic project that we give as part of the skilling program that happened in the 5th month of the course. And finally, with the last month, the 6th month is dedicated for internship. Because right now we do have virtual internship, and we will be providing 1 month equivalent, which is actually 100+ hours of internship with leading MNCs. So these are the different components of the course. So let me summarize. So if you are looking at ICT Academy as a skilling organization, we do have 6 month certification program. Since we talked about full stack development, we do have 3 variants experience of full stack development. Currently, we are talking about mean stack as a the immediate batch that we'll be forming is on mean stack. So if you have any queries or more questions on this, then we are happy to answer to all your queries. So over to you, Srikumar.
Thank you, Riji. So we're done from our side. So we are activating to address the queries of the participants. Can you say chat or unmute your mic and ask it? Any doubts related to the project, related to the skilling?
There are a few questions already posted. So let me read out. Meera, are you there? So it's a few questions are
Yes,
for
I'm
you.
here.
So can you take the first question? Can you please explain the service layer in full stack? That's one question by Justin.
Yeah. Service layer is actually not, as per my knowledge, service layer is not the term associated with the development. This is actually associated with design. That means how the user is interacting, how user interactions with the services. That is actually dealing with the service layer, not related to any technical development actually. Is it clear, Justin? No, we have to design, right? Our entire project. At that part, the service layer designing is came into role. Is it clear or need more explanation?
Okay, waiting for Justin's response. In the meantime, we can take the other questions. Like there is a question on the comparison between Java full stack as well as the mean or any mean one kind of, which is better.
The Christina James question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she misinterpreted. Java is the language for both front end and back end. I think it's actually not Java, JavaScript actually I meant. Why? Because anyhow we have to develop. Without a front end section, we don't have we can't develop a web application, right? So JavaScript, as per my opinion, okay, being a fresher, it is the best option to best option is to choose JavaScript as the best language. Why? Because you don't want to learn two languages for developing front end as well as back end. By using the same JavaScript, you will be able to develop front end as well as back end, not Java. If we are using Java as, and all the programming languages, because Java, .NET, Python, all has its own features and its own speciality, its own powerfulness, right? But if we can choose anything based upon our, if you know Java, we can focus, we can use Java as the backend programming language, and you can use the JavaScript for the front end. So here in this case, if you're using Java, though also you have to learn JavaScript for developing front end application. So I prefer JavaScript. If you are a learner or a beginner, the best option is to choose JavaScript because you don't want to learn two languages. Is it the same question? Or I think that was a question instead of Java.
Yes. Adding to that, Meera, so if Christina, you are interested in Java full stack, so Java offers, if you upskill in Java Spring Boot, you do have an option to upskill yourself in Java full stack as well. So here, Meera was mentioning about learning JavaScript as a single language and handling the both front end and back.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Christina.
Yeah, thank you for your advice. Yeah.
Okay, so there is a question on how to start my career in full stack. John C was asking that question. Maybe Meera, what should be the role of a fresher? So think that they upskill themselves in the next 3 to 4 months in full stack and get an opportunity with a company. So what should be the entry roles of a full stack developer in a company?
They can be based upon their interest. They can be fit into the front end as well as for the back end roles. And if needed, can work in both, because right now the companies are looking for the professionals who are able to handle both front end and back end based upon the requirements, because right now most of the companies are not maintaining a specific roles for a front end and back end. Some companies are also there, so can be fit into any. If it can be a full stack developer, so if it is a full stack developer, they have to work in all areas. If it is the project demands front end, they can work in the front end. If it is, if it is for only for front end development, if if she is interested in the designing and all those things, she can fit into the front end role, or can choose the back end. Depends upon the interest and the the post available there in the company.
Okay, thank you, Meera. So there's an interesting question from Sajal. It's not only interesting, but it's a very important question as well. So he asked about the importance of cloud technologies, especially AWS. So Meera, can you explain about some of the hosting techniques that we follow?
Yeah, sure. So that's a very good question, because not only developing, right? The development will ends in our system. So we have to deliver it. For that, for mainly for that, these cloud technologies like AWS are available in the market. So for example, as a developer, we will be focusing more on creating applications and services, right? So we don't want to bother too much about how to host it and how the scalability, right? For example, if I'm hosting a web application, how much client it able to handle, how much request it's able to handle, all those worries we don't want to take care. Why? All these will be taken care by the cloud technologies. If you want to, so what actually, there are lots of services available in the cloud computing platform. So there it provides the solutions for hosting your site, how to speed up the performance of your web application. All those services are available, and what we are as a developer, what we need to do is we are just consuming the resources that is they are providing as a service, and pay only for what we are using. And that might be a distributed database, that might be a space, or it can be some kind of security system. Clear? So it is mainly of hosting. And the DevOps is actually mainly, the DevOps team will be mainly involving in these cloud related activities in most of the companies.
Okay, thank you, Meera. There is one question on what are the possibilities of JIS in full stack developers? I hope that Christina was referring to JIS developers. Is it right, Christina?
Sorry, I'm not. Can you expand what is actually meant for JIS?
Christina, are you there?
Yeah, it is geographic information systems that I'm meaning here right now.
Yeah, that is actually kind of, we are integrating maps and all those things, right? So the possibilities are there. Likewise, some mainly that are used in mobile applications. This just kind of this geographical information system mapping, all those things. So which helps you to, and if you're dealing with data part, and you might have heard about something called GraphDB and all those area is actually mainly involved in this JIS, not our normal web applications like Node or Java is not playing much role. For that is specific, you might have about Cypher queries, or all those are actually into this JIS mainly. There are lots of, its scope is very high. It is those who know Cypher language is very less in number, so it's actually highly demanded thing. So we can integrate, definitely we can integrate this into the full stack, but not any programming language is playing a role for that. We can integrate now by using some Neo4j, something, a technology called Neo4j and all. By using that, we can integrate this JIS into our full stack development. Its opportunity is also high by learning all those things. Am I answered your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a question. I think the next few questions have a common thing. They are asking to which is more futuristic, like mean or man.
That actually depends. No. As I said, there are lots of frameworks are available on the top of front end and on the top of back end, which suit you are picking. For example, in the case of mean stack, right? That is Express, Node, and Angular is actually and MongoDB forms that mean stack. Likewise, mean is Angular is A stands for Angular, right? There is a TypeScript is a programming language used. It implements a kind of object-oriented programming nature into the development. So if we are choosing Angular, on the top of Express itself, there are lots of frameworks are available. Okay, example, Nest.js is one of the framework used on the top of Express. So if those who are working with Angular, the combination is Nest.js. And if it is React, then it is Next.js. So based upon that, we can choose. And Angular framework is a library. So it's a framework actually, but React is a library. So what is the benefit is if we are using framework, it has its own limitations because we should be within that framework. If you need more flexibility, you can choose React because React is acting as a library files. You can plug in the feature that you needed into your web application or HTML. So it's based upon our choice. No, Angular is also powerful, React is also powerful. But no, as per my personal opinion, Angular JS will be the good one. Why? Because it has the features of object-oriented programming. So it ensures more features of object-oriented programming. You know that is actually successful paradigm, right? The programming paradigm is object-oriented concepts, but we can choose anything based upon our requirement.
Okay, thank you, Meera. So there's a question from Remya. Remya is a working professional in .NET, and she's asking whether she wanted to upskill in which area. So Remya, you already are into the web application development, and you heard from Sri Kumar about the opportunities available in the mean MERN stack area. So one easy thing is still remaining in the web application development, learning a new technology with better scope. So you can either enroll to any of these programs, but being a person connected to technology, all other things like a software tester or a testing or a cyber security or even a full data science application. So it's anything that you can upskill. It all depends upon personal interest. Which cloud technology to learn for full stack development? Ayush Gupta is asking.
So
Meera,
I think, yeah, AWS is the most commonly used and the most stable one, as per my opinion. Azure is also.
Yeah, so it's totally depending
Yeah,
on
depending
the company,
the requirements
so
mainly, yeah.
the requirements. So it's when it comes to AWS offers with ICT Academy, we can provide you skilling programs like learning opportunities freely on the cloud technologies like Azure as well as AWS, because ICT Academy is having partnership with both AWS as well as Microsoft. So anybody who is joining for a skilling program with ICT Academy will get these as additional add-on learning opportunities. So you will get free modules on both AWS as well as Azure during the learning period. Meera, can you take that question? So there's a question by Harish on necessary to learn Cypress library for MERN stack.
No, it is not necessary for it's actually it's not necessary because there are lots of testing things are available. It's not mandate for learning MERN stack.
Okay, Ayush, answering to your question, so we tell from our experience, like when we get, we also do training for corporate. So when we get corporate training, when they share the curriculum, it totally depends on the company. Some company wanted their application in AWS, some wanted their application in Azure. So we train them based on the requirement of the company. So it's versus AWS versus Azure. So if you want to learn, Microsoft materials are freely available. So you can learn freely, but for certification, you need to pay for the certification and get certification. Elagoben was asking about, you already asked a question on the same, which ECE. So when we discuss about this skilling program, one classification that we can make it as those who are having IT background and those who don't have IT background. So anyone, whether you have IT background or non-IT background, we are from circuit branches or non-circuit branches of engineering. If you have a connection, so if you learned a programming language and know how to write code, definitely these skilling programs are for you. You can take any of these programs. So some of the programs like data science may be needing some statistical skills as well as mathematical skills, apart from the programming skills. Because if you want to predict something from the data, so you need to apply some statistic techniques to get it done. Otherwise, for the other courses that we mentioned, whether it is software testing, Java is used. If you are opting for automation testing, then definitely you need Java as a programming language. And if you learn cyber security, you may be using different tools. You may not need a particular programming language, but you will be working in a Linux environment where the scripting languages comes into play. So if you have expertise or good coding knowledge in one of the programming language, whether it is C, C++, or Java, or even Python, it doesn't matter. That is actually a prerequisite. Secondly, the ability to learn, like so Elagoben, when you are enrolled to a 6 months training program, you do have time. 4 months learning actually is a good time to learn. But even though you join the course without much background on IT, but in the first 1 to 2 weeks that you take extra pain in practicing what you learned. Like if you may not be a good programmer initially, but you know the basics of programming, and then if you spend hours and upskill yourself in the coding in the first few weeks, that definitely will be give you a good foundation for you to learn. So, and answering your question, it doesn't matter. Any course that we listed here is suitable for an easy person. It's all depending upon how you able to spend your time. Is blockchain is part of an FSD? We can tell it yes or no, because we do have a project. Current project Sri Kumar mentioned is KKEM. In this project, we conduct this particular course, full stack development, as a full stack development program. So if you are completing this course, you can go and work as a full stack developer. Otherwise, you can even work as a front end or a back end developer. So it all depends. So all these are opportunities available. But on the other side, ICT Academy has a different project where we connect the FSD completer. So those who completed the full stack development can apply for a blockchain. That is actually a different project in which ICT Academy and Kerala Blockchain Academy are connected. And if you wanted to learn blockchain, then definitely we can connect you to Kerala Blockchain Academy to upskill in blockchain associate as well as blockchain hyperledger developer course. Srijit asked a question, so so we will take that question separately. Our team will connect with you, Srijit. We do have a data science program. Last week I think the team will connect with you and tell. Yeah, it is Hyperledger Fabric. We do have. We can connect. Once you complete this, you can take up that learning as well. So any other question? Ethereum was there. So actually, there are two different learning paths with Kerala Blockchain Academy. So they do have a training program on Hyperledger Fabric as well as. So if you wanted to take Ethereum as a developer learning module, that possibility is also there. So they offer both these programs. Course fees, you can refer the site that we will connect you to the site. So if you are part of that particular project, we call the project as Accelerated Blockchain Competency Development Program, APCD project. And if you are enrolling to APCD project with ICT Academy, you complete the foundation module, which is the same course, full stack. You get a fee waiver for that program as well. Jaisil is a graduated youth of 2020 and still a fresher without much experience because of COVID. Okay, many of are like that. If I start studying full stack development, and okay, is the career. It's most of the, I think Srikumar will answer that question better than me. Srikumar, so
Yes, yeah.
when the company asks for batches, so from which batch they will?
Yeah, based on our experience, most of the companies consider 2019 onwards people as a fresher openings. So people who passed on 2019, 20, 21 can actually having the skills, they can apply for the fresher category. So that is the scenario as of now we are seeing. So 2020 may not be challenge. If you're having a skills, then actually the companies are willing to consider you the fresher category.
Okay, in a general note, Jaisil, so I think that you graduated 5 years back and you are still upskilling yourself in any of the latest technologies. If you are skillful, there are a lot of opportunities. So sometimes some mainstream companies or the big MNCs may not pick you because of they do have some guidelines for recruitment. But companies, startup companies, definitely they look at skills. And if you are skillful and you have a very rich profile, in the sense you have a good profile with you, definitely you will be picked. Can you select data science? Can I select the cyber security? All these are different options. Our team can get you those responses from the chat. So since we are right now talking about full stack, so we'll be giving opportunities and the batch registrations of full stack. And these are the courses available with ICT Academy. Our team will connect with you, Ashwati and Ayush. Is PHP old? Can I change the so Sacho, you are asking whether you wanted to learn PHP or you are in PHP and can you clarify that? Is PHP old? So if you are asking about the current opportunities of PHP is always having a demand, and internally ICT Academy is having a solutions team, and some of the, I think I should say that most of the project our internal team is doing are related to PHP. So PHP is still having demand. So if you wanted to learn PHP, then don't allow anything to stop you from learning PHP. So Shiny is asking which full stack developments we choose and which is more trendy. So already Meera answered that. So if it is mean or MERN, it doesn't matter. So we actually, ICT Academy offers both. So maybe in one cohort, we will be offering mean stack. In the next month, we will be starting a MERN stack. So if you are interested in mean, you can learn the mean batch, or if you are interested in MERN, you can learn the MERN stack as well. From a trendy thing and from an application perspective, Meera actually gave some weightage to Angular. From a trending thing, sometimes, so when you look at the new generation, so when you look at the new generation applications, so most of the companies are preferring React these days. With some of the features available, but when you talk about the existing project, so if a company is having their application built on Angular, so I think most of these companies are preferring to go, or the updations will happen with the same technology. So there are opportunities still available, even though React will take over the place of Angular. There are still opportunities with Angular. So
shall I put some comments on the top of this? Sorry,
Feel free to add.
Being a fresher, that doesn't matter actually whether you learned Angular or React, because most of the companies are actually giving an option Angular or React, because it's easy to switch. If you know Angular, it's easy to switch you into the React. The company also knows this fact. Only for the experienced candidates, it matters whether it is Angular or React. For a fresher, it is not an issue. Because it's very easy to switch, because very few things, because the underlying mechanism is same the underlying engine is same. Only the way we are using things and some, as Riju said, some features, based upon some features, it actually differs. So it's if we are learning Angular or React, it doesn't matter literally, as per my understanding. Okay.
All right, thank you, Meera. So Mubina is asking how to join this course. So hope my colleague Nitish or Nitya is there. They will be connecting you. So either I think they already shared the link. The contact details are also here, and they will be connecting with you. Another question. So I think I missed one question. There are questions on why Kerala IT companies are paying less for freshers. So Srikumar, do you have any clue about that? Why are the companies paying less?
Yeah, surely, because most of the time, from employer point of view, they're thinking only what the salary the company is paying. But actually, the fact is how much actually we are saving actually after the expenses. That is the main criteria. If you take one person actually getting actually 20,000 salary in Kerala, if he is actually saving a 5,000 rupees, then the same guy if he actually staying in Bangalore means if he getting 40,000 also he can't able to save a single pennies because their expenses are very high. So most of the times actually companies are paying the pay structure is based on actually the expenses, the how much money the employee can save. So the initial stages, I will recommend you should actually look for the end result, not actually the initial result. Initially, maybe you can get 20 or 30 or 50% higher than what you are getting in Kerala, but actually the expense wise, it is much higher than in Kerala. So you can't be able to get any actually savings on the initial front. If you're actually getting nearly 3-4 years of experience, then afterwards actually almost all the companies having a same level actually. So whenever you're getting into the company, you will get a same level of salary. First thing. Second thing, tier 1 companies no such a differentiation, but differentiation comes on HRA or something allowance like that only. If you take actually Infosys, TCS, they're having a standard actually the pay package for the fresher category. So if they're recruiting any people in Kerala or actually Bangalore or in Mumbai or Pune, they're actually falling on the same actually CTC structure, except actually they may be getting some additional HRA allowances on conveyance allowances, because that is actually as per their HR policies, metros having a little bit of higher actually conveyance as well as HR allowances compared to the non-metros. Otherwise, actually, all the tier 1 companies having a same package. Remaining companies, as I mentioned, ultimately the expense, actually expense and saving what you are getting inside Kerala is actually much better than actually outside Kerala.
Okay, thank you, Srikumar. So Jason, don't worry. So you can still work in, live in Kerala and work for some other state companies which is situated not in India, even out of the country. So that is opportunities available these days. Career break women. So here also, so Srikumar already mentioned like the fresher opportunities comes for 2018 or passed out onwards, but still there are opportunities. I told you about the opportunities available with startup companies. So it's all about the skill. So if you are skillful, capable of doing creating web applications using full stack, you get opportunity. So don't worry about that. Aisha, I'm not pronouncing your name.
Yeah, I also would like to add, Reggie, most of the companies nowadays, they as part of their CSR activities, they're giving actually a minimum percentage of the openings for the career break women. So that opportunity is available. Actually, recently, if you take actually last 1 to 1.5 years, there is a lot of initiatives are actually happening from the company side. They're especially actually recruiting the candidate from a career break category. That's falling under actually the CSR activity.
Okay. I think so Lagoban, thank you for the words, but actually we also felt like that we got a lot of questions. This section group is so interactive. So thank you for all your questions. And Srikuti is asking for how can I find startup companies? So I don't know whether where you are located. So if you are in Kerala, then we have a startup ecosystem. Kerala Startup Mission is connected to SID. So definitely if you are in am I audible?
No, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So all these companies post their opportunities. So if you are into LinkedIn, then you don't have to apply anywhere. So when you just post your skilling certificate and skill what all skilling that you have done in your LinkedIn profile, the companies will follow you. All right. I think we answered the question. So now shall we move to the last
One
segment?
more question actually is talking about certificates as mentioned by Reggie. Actually, the 6 months program is a dual certification program. It having a certification from it's a joint certification from Government of Kerala and ICT Academy. The second certification is coming from TCS ION as an internship project. So it's a dual certification for all the participants who successfully completing the program. There is no more queries. If there is no more queries, I'm inviting Nidish to actually deliver the vote of thanks. Yeah, Nidish.
Yes, thank you, sir. There's one more query. Is there any chance getting a government job after ICT course? No, there is actually you had to. We will get into a job portal that is Kerala Knowledge Economic Mission. So my job is vote of thanks. So thank you all on behalf of ICT Academy of Kerala and Kerala Knowledge Economic Mission. I'm very glad here to present my vote of thanks. A special thanks to our chief guest, Mrs. Meera Menon, for accepting our invitation and for being here today. Thank you, ma'am. Your thoughts and insights about full stack development course was great, ma'am. And you are a special thanks for you to answer all the queries about the participants. And they got a basic idea about the trends and opportunities about the full stack development. Myself also, and the industrial chances of getting jobs in full stack development. And a special thanks to Mr. Reggie Das, the head of knowledge operation unit, ICT Academy of Kerala, for immense support to make the webinar a grand success. Thank you, sir. I extend my gratitude to my senior sir, Mr. Srikumar, head of retail operation unit, ICT Academy of Kerala, to organize a webinar through online, even at the time of pandemic. I must thank my organizing team, my colleague, Ms. Nitya, Ms. Aishwarya, Mrs. Ashwati, Mr. Kripson, and the IT team, Mr. Nitin PS, for working hard for the last few days to make the webinar a successful. Thank you once again. And if you have any more queries, you can contact the through that mobile number. We are available at each time. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.